Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sick and the 6-Shot Gaming Channel, and I am back with another What to Do on Block Dragon Ball FighterZ vid for y'all. This time is all about Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So, I'm sorry for the wait. I know it's been about a week since this character came out, and I promised that I was going to have it by Monday. But, you know, life hits you hard and had to take care of a couple of stuff. But, without further ado, I do have this video for you. So this video will be a little bit longer than others, but it's all good content, so please stay tuned right through the end and enjoy. So before we get started with the video, if you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. Make sure to hit the notification bell and click the all tab to get notified every single time I drop a new video for you, any type of video. Also, if you want to help support my channel in any type of way at all, check the link below to go do so. But anyways, let's get started. So, the first thing we're going to go over in his block strings is Gogeta's auto combo. So, the first thing I want to put out there is the first hit of his auto combo is a double hit attack. The second hit is a little uppercut punch, gut punch. And the third hit is a smashing overhead attack. So that third hit of the auto combo, like I said, is an overhead attack. So you have to block this move standing. You cannot block this move crouching at all. If you block it crouching, you'll get hit. So for order you to block this, you have to stand block it. Now, another thing is that it low crushes attacks. So if you try to hit your opponent with like a down light or any type of crouching type of move, it will crush it. But if you stand and attack, you have enough time to interrupt your opponent. And you can also do a down heavy as well. So that's very good to know. And there's a huge gap when it comes to the overhead. So you can do a plethora of things. You could vanish, you could do a DP, you could reflect, and you could also do your level 3 super. So another thing you could do is incorporate your assists into the auto combo, and this will open up a whole new wave of mix-ups against your opponent. So you can call out the assist, flip over to the other side, then instant air dash back to the same side you was originally on and catch your opponent with an overhead. Or you can do the same exact thing and do an empty low. Or if you feel like your opponent's going to try to reflect or any type of thing like that, or just sit there and block, you can flip back to the other side and catch your opponent off guard for Dragon Rush. You could do the same type of mix-up, but stay on the opposite side. That you can do a delayed air dash and go into the overhead. If you want to stay on the opposite side that you flipped over to, do a delayed air dash into the low, which is his 2L. Or you could do a delayed air dash again and do the same type of Dragon Rush mix-up as well. So he could do this mix-up on both sides, on the front side, on the original side, or on the opposite side that he flips over to. Now the only thing is that your opponent can easily down heavy because you're not stuck. Your opponent is not stuck in block stun because the assist doesn't lock you down that long. But you can bait out these type of attempts with a backdash into a downwards Kamehameha, so that's really good. And you can do some super dash, same side or opposite side mix-ups as well to catch your opponent off guard. But the only thing is, again, they're not stuck in blocks on long enough, so your opponent can react with whatever they want to out of there. So a DP, a down heavy, and so on and so forth. Also, depending on when you call the assist, your opponent can easily just stand up and knock you out the assist score. So you gotta be very careful about this because it can be easily interrupted. So just keep that in mind. So next thing we're gonna talk about, if we go incorporate into our block strings, is Gogeta core circle forward light attack. So Gogeta's core circle forward light attack is a record. So you have to press light 3 times. So you gotta press core circle forward light, light, light. And when you do the light version of his record, it is a true block string. You cannot attack or reflect or nothing until all 3 hits hit. and it's 100% safe. It's only -5, so your opponents cannot punish it at all. And the third hit of this attack is a overhead as well. So your opponent has to block this standing. If your opponent blocks it crouching, like you just saw, you will get hit. So the next thing I want to talk about is this move does push your opponent back enough that a light attack will whiff. So you could do some type of shenanigans after that. You can just do backdash directly after your opponent blocks his move and punish them with your down medium if you see them pressing buttons. Just like so. Even a character like Goku with a longer range standard light attack misses completely. So this is great for punishing. Alright, this is a great whip punisher. This is a great setup. Even with GT Goku, his light attacks will not reach your backdash in time. And you know GT Goku chases you down with his second hit of his auto combo, but Gogeta has enough time to completely get out the way. And if you have a real good read on your opponent, you could even do stuff like his DP directly after, and it will catch your opponent. And if you're closer to the corner, you can do the DP and get a combo just like so off his DP. And if you have the real good read on your opponent, and you know your opponent's gonna try to press you directly after, you can do the DP or the level 3, and it will catch your opponent off guard. So now we're gonna talk about using the medium version of his records and a block shrink. So when you do the medium version, he does a sway back move. So there's definitely a gap. So if your opponent's trying to press buttons, they will get hit. So just keep that in mind. So if your opponent's pressing buttons and you do the medium version, they're going to get hit. At any point in the medium version of the records, if you do medium, there's always going to be gaps, so your opponent can't get hit. Now, since there is a gap, you can reflect just like so, but the follow-up hits kind of keeps you atop of the opponent. It doesn't push the opponent back far enough. So you have to reflect 3 times actually to be good. So if your opponent does the medium version and you don't reflect the first hit, you can reflect the second hit if they follow with the medium version. But even if you do reflect the second hit, that last attack will come right down top of your head. So you will have to reflect that as well to push your opponent off you. If you don't reflect, if you reflect the second but don't reflect the third one, you ain't gonna get no space. Now, what you can do though is reflect the first hit and then DP the second one if it's a medium attack. But another thing is, if your opponent goes from medium, light, the light comes out too quick for you to get a down heavy and you will get hit even if you reflect. So keep that in mind. So another thing is, there is a huge gap in between the startup of the medium version and your block string. So you can easily vanish, but your vanish is not going to hit the medium version because it pushes them back too far. So you will have to do something. If your character has an invincible star DP, you have to do something like that. Or you can do your level 3 super, because the level 3 super is invincible. So keep that in mind. And if you follow with the second hit of the record with a medium, there's going to be a gap in that too. So your opponent can do an invincible DP move or a level 3 super. Now the only thing is, with the level 3 super, depending on the super, it can whiff, as you can see. So it just depends on the character. Beam supers are the way to go when it comes to punishing the second hit of the medium record. Now also, the medium version of the last hit of the record has a gap as well. So you can do a DP or invincible startup super or level 3 as well. So like I said, any part of the medium versions, there's always going to be gaps. And right now we're going to talk about real quick about the enhanced version of the records. So the enhanced version of the records, you can kind of basically treat like the light version, where it's a true block string. And you only have to do one motion and one button press for the enhanced version, and it will play out automatically. And the enhanced version is safe just like the light and medium version, so you can do the same type of shenanigans with the backdash and so forth. And if you use the enhanced version after you do, say, like the light or medium version, and you do enhanced, the enhanced will always make that follow-up hit true block string. And if your opponent gets hit by it, then you can follow up into a combo, just like you just saw. And the enhanced version, no matter what point you use it in your record, will always just go automatically into the overhead. So moving on, we're going to talking about the difference between the second hit of the record if it's a light and if it's a medium. So the medium version brings you up off the ground high enough where you're able to do an air dash out of it, and you can get some overhead mix-ups from there. Now, at the end of the day, the last hit of the record is an overhead, but now this eliminates that overhead and you're able to get more mix-ups out of it instead of just of an overhead. So you can do the overhead, or you can do the air dash into an empty dragon rush, or you can do an air dash and come down to the ground and do an empty low, and so on and so forth. And remember, there is a gap when you go into the medium version. Even if you start with the light version, if your opponent's pressing buttons, they will get hit. Also, if you don't back yourself up with an assist, you can get down heavy though, so just keep that in mind. But if you was to call out a well-timed assist within this mix-up, you could get something like this. You get the overhead, which is really, really good. Now, the only thing is that at this point on, your opponent's not a true block string no more. So your opponent can easily reflect out just like so. So just keep that as a reminder that your opponent does have an option. They could do the DP, they could do a level 3, or they could reflect. So next thing we're going to talk about is using the light version of the records and using assist to keep your opponent in block stun for a true block string. So when you do the standard block string into the light version of the records, right, and you call out a beam assist or any type of lockdown assist, you're going to be able to get an instant air dash medium attack and go right into a true block string. And all that's a true block string. So if your opponent's not on point and they block low, and you go into an instant air dash medium, and your opponent doesn't stand block it, they will get hit, and you can go into a full combo from there. And your opponent cannot press no buttons or reflect at all, because at this point, if you do it correctly and time it correctly, they're in a true block string. You could do the same type of mix-up when it comes to doing it low. You could do this right here, and that's a true block string. Your opponent tries to reflect, as you just saw what I tried to do on the screen. I was trying to reflect, and the down medium has so much range that it knocks them out of it. And as you can see, I was pressing buttons right there, and I was still in a true block string. So that's really, really good. So once you catch your opponent off guard with a couple of overheads, you can sneak in it low and get a really good combo. That's the max damage combo you can get with a medium starter. You can also do some instant air dash, empty low shenanigans. It's not the best mix-ups because his down light is a little bit slower, so it can be reflected after that or any type of thing, because there is a gap. So you can reflect it, vanish, do a invincible DP or level 3, but it's just something to catch them off guard with if you condition them to block the first two mix-ups, because they have to respect the first two mix-ups because they're true block strings. So that's something you can just throw in there. And once you condition them to not press buttons or do anything to respect your mix-up, you can easily just run in and do a dragon rush. And that's just simple like that. So the next special move, or actually a regular move that we incorporate into Gogeta block string, is his Kamehameha Wave. So his Kamehameha Wave is just a simple key blast attack. And just like all other Kamehamehas, there is a gap in between. So if your opponent is pressing buttons, they will get hit. And if they get hit, you can easily just vanish and go into a full combo from there. But since there is a gap, there is ways to get around this. But first of all, his Kamehameha Wave is not that good by itself. You can easily run up and get punished. It's probably the worst on block Kamehameha Wave in the game. So just remember that. But there's a reason for that, because it is a key blast instead of a special attack. Another thing is that it gets punished by Gogeta's down medium, and his down medium is probably the slowest down medium in the game. So that's how much punishable it is on block, so just remember that. So moving on from there, the reason why it's so bad on block is because you can special cancel it. So if you feel like your opponent's going to try to do something directly after it, you can special cancel into any one of your special moves to keep it safe. So that's good. And if you happen to catch your opponent in the corner with a Kamehameha, you could go into your down Kamehameha as well, or your down Ki Blast, and get a corner combo that does a lot of damage. And you can also do stuff like this as well. And if you was to end up hitting with the Ki Blast and then canceling into any one of your special moves, you get an easy super in the corner. Now you can reflect the Kamehameha, but since he could cancel into so many other special moves, a punish situation is kind of hard to go by. So a couple things you could do is vanish, because the gap is big enough for you to vanish. You can also do a DP if your character has one, an invincible startup DP, or an invincible startup super or level 3, just like so. So, moving on from there, we're going to talk about another special move that can be incorporated into our block strings, is that it's called Circle Back and the Ki Blast button, which is this command grab. So, this command grab can be done at any point in your block string. It doesn't really matter. Where other characters you have to do on certain points of your block strings or really delay your block string. With this move, you can do it at any point in your block string. So you can do light to the command grab, down medium to the command grab, light into the command grab, and so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter where you do this in your block string. Now, if you hit with this move, you can easily vanish and go into a combo just like so. And that's one way to use this move, because it keeps the opponent standing. You can also go into any one of your supers at any point after you hit this move. So you can hit the command grab and go straight into your level 3, because it keeps them standing. So that's really, really good. But another thing I like to do, since the move keeps them standing, is pressure them right after, because you're +5 after this move hits. So that means if my opponent tries to press anything at all after they get hit with this move, I will always beat them out. They can't even backdash because they're -5 frames, so my light attack will beat them out if they try to backdash. So that's really, really good. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have no options at all. So one thing they could do after the move hits is reflect. So that's one thing they could do. They could also do an invincible startup move like a DP, just like so. Or they could do an invincible level super like a level 3. So please keep that in mind. Now, moving on from there, another thing I want to talk about is if you condition your opponent to not press no buttons at all after the command grab, you can easily do a Dragon Rush and get a really good, decent combo after that. So that's really, really good. So moving on from there, ways you can beat this move is just by doing a jumping attack, as you can see. Another way you could beat this move is just by super dashing straight off the ground. Super dashes will go through this move as well, so got to keep that in mind. You could also do a vanish, because the start up on the command guy is really, really slow, so a vanish will get out of it. You could also do a DP, and you go do a level 3. So all these things, just keep in mind when you're the Gogeta player using this move. You can also backdash this move as well. Even though this move hits full screen, if you backdash right on point, you will completely avoid the move altogether. But if you backdash too early, you will get hit by the move. Now I'm gonna showcase this right here. This is me backdashing way too early, and I got hit by the command grab. So you gotta be careful. I wouldn't use the backdash method as much as all the other methods. So another thing is, when you use the command grab after like a light, medium, or any other button besides the key blast or the standing heavy, your opponent can easily attack you out of it just like so. The only time you can be uninterruptible is off of the standing heavy. So if you do a standing heavy, the standing heavy pushes them back far enough where you're able to get an uninterruptible command grab without your opponent hitting you out of it. Now they can still vanish and so on and so forth, but if they try to do anything like a light attack and so on and so forth, they will get caught. Now there are some mediums in the game that have range and is fast enough to hit you even off of a standing heavy. Now if you end up trading with this move with any one of your opponent's normal moves, you're gonna get put into a state, and I think there's a bug where the move doesn't finish and it pushes your opponent into a state where they're invincible and they can't get hit at all. During this whole time until they recover, they cannot get hit. As you see, even the level 3 whips. Now, your opponent, you still have the advantage after your opponent recovers, as you saw, but your opponent can block. So if you get into any type of weird situation where the command grab trades with the opponent and your opponent gets put into that invincible state, after your opponent recovers, they can block, so you just have to be mindful about that. So now the next special move we're going to talk about is you incorporate into your block strings at the after image Kamehameha. Now this block string is not the greatest because your opponent can definitely hit you out of it, because the startup on this after image Kamehameha is very, very slow. You can do a plethora of things to beat out your opponent. You can straight out attack your opponent out of it, and as you can see, you can attack your opponent out with the down. Gogeta's down medium. His down mid is one of the slowest down mediums in the game. But if your opponent does somehow react too slow and get hit by this, you put them in the slotted knockdown animation, and you can vanish and continue the combo after that. Another thing about that dive kick is that dive kick after the Kamehameha hits or is blocked is a overhead. So you have to block that dive kick standing. If you block it crouching, you will get hit. And the dive kick is safe after Kamehameha. It's only -5, and the fastest move in the game is 6, so your opponent cannot punish it at all. So you can do the same type of shenanigans you would be able to do with his light version of his records, where you could backdash out the way completely and punish your opponent if they try to attack you directly after. Now, there's one thing you can do to make this a true block string. If you have like a beam assist or any type of lockdown assist and you call at the right time, you could make this a true block string. Another thing you could do is do a fake out Kamehameha by holding the button. And if you hold the button and press forward or back, it will leave Gogeta in a teleporting into a different area on the screen. So this is where you can start using in your mix-ups, because if you make your opponent respect the assist and make them block, you can do something like this. So you can come out the air with an overhead, or you could fake out Kamehameha in place and do a low and get a combo just like so. Or you could do the fake out Kamehameha, stay on the ground, and do a dragon rush, because the dragon rush has enough range to catch your opponent if they just sit there and block. So that's really, really good as well. And if you feel like your opponent is going to try to attack you directly after, you could just do the back version of the fake out Kamehameha and air dash and punish your opponent for whiffing attacks. You can also do some fake out, same side, opposite side, super dash, cross ups on your opponent as well. So that's really, really good. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about some little extra tidbits when it comes to like air block strings. So you could do his instant air dash medium into his down light and catch your opponent off guard from there. Or you could do his instant air dash medium into a down heavy. Now the down heavy is a overhead, so your opponent actually has to block it. So that's a little 50-50 mixer from there. You don't get much out of the down heavy, but it could be like a good round ender. Another thing is you could do something like this to keep your opponent in the true block string after they hit the ground. So if you catch them in the air, you can do light, medium, and once you hit the ground, your opponent's not gonna be able to reflect because they stuck in a true block string. Or you could do medium, light, and bring it back to the ground and keep on a true block string as well. So whenever you catch your opponent blocking lights and mediums, someone off the ground, not too high off the ground, you can always bring them back down into a true block string type of situation. So the last type of mix I have for y'all, some snapback stuff. So if you have a snapback in the corner, you can do something like this. You can call out assist and do a down heavy, which you're gonna see. You're gonna do a snapback, call out assist, do it down heavy, and cancel into your fake out Kamehameha. And if you want to cross them up, all you have to do is hold forward when you fake them out, and you're going to end up on the cross up side of them. And if you want to end up on the same side, all you gotta do is just hold back after the Kamehameha and you end up on the same side. So that's a 50-50 left to right mix up from there. You can also just stay grounded and stay on the ground. So do the fake out Kamehameha, stay grounded, and do a dragon rush, or you can go into a down medium and so on and so forth. And if you feel like your opponent's gonna press a button to try to disrespect this pressure, you can easily just let the fake out at the image Kamehameha rip. And if they hit by it, just do a vanish and go on and do whatever combo you want. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much the end of the road for this What to Do on Block Dragon Ball FighterZ video. This has been a What to Do on Block Gogeta. Hopefully you was able to learn something new today. And if you was able to learn something new, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. This video was on the longer side. There's actually a couple more stuff I could have showed off in this video, but I didn't want to keep y'all too long. So I just showed y'all the basic essentials and stuff that's going to take you to winning matches with Gogeta when it comes to your opponent blocking and so on and so forth. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, like I said, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure and hit the subscribe button. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit the notification bell, hit the all tab to get notified every time I drop a new vid for y'all. So every single time I drop a new vid, you'll get notified. Also, you want to help support my channel any type of way at all, check the link below to go do so. But anyways, I hope all of you have a nice day. I hope you have a wonderful day, actually. Peace.
Running, yeah.